This is Mr. Gianelli with your technology tip of the week, and today I'm really excited to talk to you guys about something called Hyperdocs using Google Docs. Hyperdoc is basically a document that allows you to do an entire lesson, and it's student directed, and it's almost like a flipped classroom model where the students are kind of doing the learning on their own and the teacher is guiding them. So during this lesson, rather than lecturing about whatever it is, this new topic you're teaching them, this is an opportunity for students to explore. And what the teacher would be doing is just walking around, working with the students while they're going through this lesson. You can break it down by day. So right now I have everything in one document, but if you wanted to, you could break this down into smaller chunks. And the students are generally going to be working in pairs or groups during this process. So I created this lesson for probably groups of 2. So let me just kind of show you what it looks like. Part of the idea of these types of lessons is you make the Hyperdocs look attractive. You make them look interesting. You add pictures, you have links, you have colors and stuff like that. So if you want to change the color of your background for a Google Doc, you go to File, and then you go to Page Setup, and you can change the page color right there. So I made mine this kind of light blue, and then I played around with some interesting fonts and just kind of made it look cool. So the lesson is adaptation. The objective is students will design an animal with adaptations that allow it to survive to a specific environment. And then right off the bat we have a picture right here. And if I wanted to, I could start off with a question for the students. Each student's going to get a copy of, or at least each pair of students is going to get a copy of this. You could give them one device like a Chromebook or whatever that they could work on together, or they could each have their own and they could share this and they could be working on it at the same time, whatever you prefer. So introduction. Starting off, I created this link right here. The students would click on it, and it takes them to a Google Doc that I created where I just copied and pasted Wikipedia, which has a nice little description of adaptation. And then next to it, I asked some questions about the article. So they read the article, they answer these questions. This is all lower stuff on the DOK chart. It's basically just recall. But we're going to move into the purpose of Hyperdoc is that you're going high up on the DOK chart, and you're using the SAMR model, which is basically using technology to do things that go beyond what you could do without technology. So we're using creativity, collaboration, and communication to really get the students to delve deeper into a subject. So we can start off with the introduction, and then we have an exploration. And with your partners, explore the following links in any order to write a brief summary of what you found. And this is just a table that I created. To make a table, it's very easy. Insert table, and then you can just tell it what size you want it to be. So this was just a 2x4. And then I added these pictures. And to add these pictures, it was really easy. There's 2 ways you can do it. You can just go to Insert, Image. And the easiest way is just to go to the search bar right here, and let's just say I'm looking for a chameleon. I don't know how to spell chameleon. That's embarrassing. Is that right? Close enough. So I could just take a picture of chameleon and put it in there or whatever, and you just click on it, and it's in your document, and you can move it around. You can also use the snipping tool. I don't know if you guys have seen that before, but for one of them, the links, it looks like this. So maybe I want to show these carrots right here. You go to the snip tool, which is, you all have it on your computer if you're using Windows. Snipping tool, click on new, and then I just drag a box around there, or whatever part of it I want to use, and then click copy, and then now in my document, I can just paste it right there. But I don't want to, because I already did. And then each one of these has a link, so the students would click on these links, and they can do them in any order they want, and they just write a little summary of what that page talked about. And this one actually is a video. You are really encouraged to use videos in your Hyperdocs, videos, text, articles, as many different types of resources as you can. And the students can just write a little summary or whatever. And then afterwards, 3 things I learned, 2 interesting facts, 1 question I still have. The 3-2-1 response to reading is a pretty common practice that teachers are using in Common Core type of settings. So, and then the teacher has an opportunity to look at the questions they still have and maybe kind of teach a lesson on what are some of the major questions that students are asking about this. So then you go to the extension, and here I created a project where the students, using a website called Pixlr, which I have open I'll just open it right quick. Right there. This is basically like a Photoshop type of thing. They are going to use this website, and there's other websites that they could use to do something similar, to create, and you could insert images here and text boxes and stuff. So what I want them to do is I wanted them to create their own animal. So first they're going to, with their partners, describe an animal. They're going to create their own animal, describe it. So they're going to give a name and a description of it. And then where does it live? An animal habitat right there. And then you're going to look at adaptations. So what are the things that this animal has to allow it to live in this environment? And then in this fourth box, give me a paragraph, summary of how the animal, describe the animal and how its adaptations allow it to survive in its environment. And then when you're done, I forgot to put a link here. Let me do that real quick. If I can find this, I have a lot of tabs open. I would send them a link here and say, okay, when you're done, paste it here. Go to this link and put your hyperlink right there of the thing that you created on Pixlr. So they create their animal, they copy and paste the paragraph to the bottom so we can all see it. They put their link in here. And then I say, okay, once you finish yours, I want you to look at other students and make some comments on them. So, you know, as they're turning them in, go on to here, look at what other students have created, and put some comments on it. And you can grade them. You know, it actually keeps track of which student said which thing. You can grade them on the comments as well as their creation. So the idea here is that the project is fun, it's creative, it's collaborative, and they get to share it, they get to make comments on it. You could even post these, like some of the best ones, you could put them up on the school website or some other page that's public. And so the idea of a hyperdoc is just you're really getting kids to explore on their own, to go deeper, and to create something. The extension should always be something that is kind of open-ended. They can kind of go where they want with it. It could be a video that they create. It could be, okay, now make a board game that shows adaptation. And this is something that would take place of a project, you know, time in class that might take a week or two. This is going to be your unit. This is, you know, the entire thing. You could break it down into smaller chunks, and then afterwards you could, of course, give an assessment on top of this if you would like. So another thing about this is that the idea is that instead of students doing something and then kind of forgetting it, you give them information, they talk about it, they get a test, and then it's kind of out of their mind. By creating something kind of cool like this, the research shows that it actually helps this information stick in their head, so that in 5 or 10 years they're going to remember this project, and they're going to be able to remember all the things about adaptation and all the keywords and stuff. So this is just one example that I created. I'm not a science teacher, so I'm sure you guys can come up with something better. But I will share this along with a link to, this is a website on Twitter, Teachers Give Teachers, and it's just a bunch of hyperdocs for all grade levels and all subject areas that, actually it's right here, I think, that you could use in your classroom. So if you are on Twitter, I will post this link. Even if you're not on Twitter, I think you can still see them, although you might have to be signed in to see all of them. But there's just tons of stuff on there that you can look at and explore and use in your classroom. If you want to create one of these and you want some help, let's sit down one-on-one and I can help you go through this. You can send me your stuff ahead of time if you want for some lesson coming up, or you can just kind of explore. But I really encourage you guys to try this out. It's a really great way to get these students ready for all the Common Core stuff and technology that's coming in the future. So that's it, and thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.